Gaffer, it's been quite a busy week in terms of transfers coming in. How pleased are you with the business that we've managed to get?
Delighted. Delighted with the type of people, the forward-thinking nature of it as well. That's something that I've mentioned now for a number of weeks as an area we needed to strengthen. Delighted that the club have supported us on it and managed to deliver on it as well. It's something that we have been working very hard for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and now ideally would have liked it earlier, 100%. Everybody would agree with that, but circumstances, and it's not as straightforward as that. We need to obviously identify the players, which we've done, and bring them to the club, and I'm delighted to be able to do that. Those
guys obviously have been involved in around HTC and in training. Could they be available on Sunday?
I think they're all at different stages, so that's something. They've all came in, they've all done their testing, they've all done their medicals, just to make sure we find out exactly where they are, because they're all at different stages right now. Nicky Cadden obviously without a club since leaving Barnsley at the end of the season. Kieran Bowie's obviously someone who's been down south at Fulham, but they're slightly behind on their pre-season. And Miko was the same, he was slightly behind on his pre-season. So it is a case of getting them all in, monitoring them and finding out exactly where they've been, what they've done. Because one thing, as tempting as it might be, we need to make sure they're ready and can be provided when it's safe to do so as well.
Absolutely. There was a lot of frustration last weekend after the game. You could see that from yourself and from the players as well. Have you seen a reaction from them in training this week?
Yeah, from everyone involved, and I actually think the fresh faces helps that as well. You know, because you get some players that'll respond positive to that, but also some might get a wee bit upset. But then you need to get that reaction as well, because competition for places is exactly what you want as a coach. You need it in the dressing room, you need it on the training pitch every single day, because now players know that you need to be at the top of your game to keep your jersey, and if not, there's a competitive squad behind you to push it all the time. So that's been great. The reaction's been good from that. I think you also get a little spring from boys that maybe joining the club, you know, straight away want to impress. But the one thing I would say, and I've been really strong on, is the type of people we've brought to the club, the characters that they are. They've already hit the ground running, which is great. I mentioned that previously with the ones we brought in before we went to Holland, and that also goes back to credit to the group for integrating them as quickly as they can. It is a really good dressing room in there, it's well run, and I'm fortunate to have that, but we need to keep pushing each other now and make sure we do take that into the weekend and get a reaction from last week.
Yep, Celtic then on Sunday, a difficult test. What do you expect from them?
Obviously it will be a real tough test. You've just touched on it there. One thing I would say, as a football player, these are the games you want to play in. These are the games that you should want to play in, should I say. Be a full house at home, first league game of the season, live on the telly to test yourself against the champions from last season. I think there's no better test from that. The new players coming in, these are the reasons why they should have joined the club. You know, it's a big club that they're joining. You need to understand the expectation and the demands, and we'll be putting a game plan in place to try and get 3 points, that's for sure.
Yeah, how important will the atmosphere at Easter Road be as well? Obviously our first home league game of the season.
Yeah, it's vital, and it's something that I've been there when it's been good, and it's a special place to play, and it's a special place to apply your trade, and we're lucky to do so. The fans have been great. I'm sure they'll be right behind us right for that first minute, and we're going to need them to be for as long as the game lasts. And it's up to us to make sure we put on a performance and a display that they can all be proud of, and that's the challenge that we face.
Yeah, you touched upon the new players and their availability. Will it just be Eli Yuan outside of that won't be available this weekend?
Yeah, well, Eli's definitely not available still, but he is getting better all the time. He's progressing well, so we're delighted with his process on that. And then, as I've already touched on, we are just assessing the players, especially the new ones coming in, to find out exactly what can be done, what can't be done, managing the risks and rewards probably at this stage. But also the positives to that as well. Looks like Harry McCurdy's had another full week in training after his chest infection, and he's came through that, so he's getting stronger every day. It was great to get Cads back in the squad last week, some minutes at the weekend, because he's missed a few minutes through pre-season. So we're in a much stronger place, and one thing as I went out onto the grass today is there's certainly competition for places, which is great to see.
Absolutely. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks very much.